Hello people, good morning. Coffee. So, over the last couple of weeks, but especially, I suppose the last week, I've had some very interesting and useful experiences that have shown me quite clearly another slice of the pie, as it were. Now, I've said this before, haven't I, how everything is utilized, absolutely everything, and that all the experiences we have, even the ones that we might label as negative, are actually powerful and very much for the positive. Because we're born into this realm and we literally are in it. We're in the soup, in the wetico. We are in it. It is in us. And that's when the process begins, really, for soul travelers of this experience of the wetico, which is you're powerless, the dark generator, you're powerless, you're worthless, it undermines you, it sabotages you, it gaslights you in every imaginable way and nuance. You shouldn't have done that, now this is going to happen, you can't go there, that will happen. It is literally always negative, it's always dark. And it is psychopathic. It's what Vertigo is, which is why we live in a world which is completely and utterly controlled by psychopaths, which is why we live in a world which is infested. We have an infestation of sociopathy, psychopathy, narcissism, which is all about abuse. It's all about making us doubt ourselves. It's all about stopping us from stepping into our power. The new age is incredibly narcissistic. It's full of these people that are narcissists that have such a very, very high opinion of themselves. Very high opinion. And they always come at you from above, don't they? It's always like that. I've noticed it. I see it online. I see it a lot in social media, which is infested with narcissism. Obviously, because it's the perfect place for them. Because if you get to know a narcissist and you spend any amount of time with them, you'll soon work out, you're a narcissist, because, you come at me from above, you're condescending, you think you're God. Because they do, you see, they think they're God, they think they are the master, the guru, the mistress, whatever. They have such a grandiose sense of themselves, it's unbelievable. And they are master manipulators. They really, really are. They are very good at manipulating. They're not really very good at anything else, I've noticed. It's like the Wetigo does exactly the same thing, and they are an embodiment. The external embodiment of the Wetigo is what you get when you get psychopaths like Ted Bundy and people like that, who are literally predators. They are. And narcissists are also predators. For those of us who grew up with a narcissist parent and an enabler parent, that's usually what you get. You get the flying monkey syndrome. If you've grown up in that sort of childhood environment and you've been very hurt by it, very wounded by it, and you then start to awaken, which means you start to heal, you start to see it, you start to understand your own narcissist tendencies as well, because we've all got them. That's just it, you see. Because we've lived in this world, which is a narcissist world, which is a psychopath world. So we all have tendencies. It's just a matter on which level. And it's very hard because we live in a world that is geared towards guilting, punishing, guilting, shaming, which drives it even further in to us. You know, ultimately, I mean, narcissists, I mean, I know people who I know damn well are sold and who have tendencies, who have a few tendencies, but they're very wounded people. They had really bad childhoods. But they are really working on it, as indeed I had to do as well. I had to work at it, still doing that every day, you know. But you get your full-blown narcissist, now they're not going to be sold no matter what, ever. They are agents in the matrix. They are basically soulless bots or just empty meat bags that get possessed. I came across a channel, which I will post a link. I might do. Yeah, I will. I've said it now, so I have to do it. I don't agree with everything the woman says. I'm not a Christian, so I don't really look at it from that perspective. But I do think she's onto something. Now, when you're dealing with certain types of real overt narcissists, well, the covert but then overt narcissists, it's interesting. You are dealing with a possession. You're dealing with an evil entity. Their mission in this world, their mission is to pull the rug from beneath you, to make you doubt yourself, to stop you in your tracks when it comes to stepping into your power, in learning to love yourself, using your power, realizing you have power, self-determination, self-actualization. And they do this by, well, they target, it's a bit like targeted individuals, you know. They are targeted for reasons that we don't really know why exactly they target any specific person, but they target you. And they gaslight you, but they often, narcissists will make themselves look like they are a really decent human being, like they're a really good person and they're full of wisdom and they really, really care. This is like your spiritual narcissist, whatever, you know. And you might think, oh, this person is really genuine and they really care. And yeah, they have some wisdom to share, so that's really cool. But something will happen that makes you realize that all is not as it seems. Something will make you realize that, hold on a minute, this person is becoming very overbearing, or this person is beginning to make me feel overwhelmed, or you just get a feeling that something isn't right, something is off. They want too much of your time, they want too much of your energy. They're too demanding. You feel like something is feeding off of you. You feel like, okay, something isn't right here. So you say, no, enough, I don't want to know. No. That's when it all gets a bit vicious and a bit nasty. What they hate more than anything is being unmasked as a narcissist. So when you finally realize that, oh, I've been had, you call them what they are. You say, oh, you're a narcissist. That's when it all goes horribly wrong. That's when they get very, very, very angry, because narcissists hate being unmasked. They project. So whatever they are, they will tell you that you are. So all of a sudden you are a bad person. You're bad. You're bad. You're mean. You're vicious. You're not a spiritual person because you swear. For example, I was told this recently, that I'm a bad person because I swear. Fucking hell. They will use information that they have about you, from you usually, against you. in a very underhanded, backstabby sort of way. It's unbelievable, you know. It's all about manipulation, it's all about gaslighting, it's all about making you totally doubt yourself. They want to rip you apart, that's what they want to do. They want to make you feel so completely fucked up and lost that you give up. But, you know, it's like, but the New Age is a case in point where it's all about, well, if you have negative feelings and negative thoughts, then you're a bad person, then you're not a spiritual person, because the law of attraction says that you're happy all the time. You're always happy, and you're always and perfect, and you sit down and you meditate and you do your yoga every day, and you're perfect and you're happy, and you're just at peace all the time, like monotone peace, happy, 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 peace, peace, happy, happy, peace, peace. That's it. Which is complete bullshit, of course, but that is what Retico wants, people. That is what it wants. It doesn't want you to go through your dark night of the soul. It doesn't want you to acknowledge your trauma, your programming, your own bullshit, narcissist tendencies come about through all the trauma and all the programming and having to survive in a narcissist world, a narcissist environment, learned behavior. It doesn't want you to do that. So when I was a Buddhist many years ago, I came across quite a few sort of narcissistic people that I at the time didn't know were narcissists. And they spent a lot of time, it was all posturing. I now know, but at the time I didn't. It was all posturing. They used to sit in those beatific smiles on their faces, you know, surrounded by cushions and incense, and meditate for like hours every day. I went to a few Buddhist retreats and it was exactly the same. They were the first and the foremost to do the yoga and, you know, to meditate and to do this and to be that, and it was all just so perfect and so wonderful. And, you know, this is many years ago, and I was just like, wow, you know, they're so perfect, they're so perfect, they're so good, and I could never be in R. And they really did it. They encouraged other people to feel that way, to feel like, oh, you're way up there, and you're so perfect, and I could never be as good as you. They, in a roundabout, gaslighting, manipulative sort of way, inspired that in people. They wanted people to feel that way. They liked the admiration. They wanted to be complimented. They wanted to be told how wonderful and how perfect and how amazing they were. But looking back, there were so many behaviors that just weren't right. I mean, if you want people to see you as superior, as holding all the wisdom, whilst they could never hope to achieve anything like what you've achieved, then there is something very, very wrong. If you can't admit that you have darkness within you that needs to be healed, that needs to be processed, then there is something very, very wrong. If you are perpetually on a high of fake transcendence come about through meditation, because I used to meditate a lot and it used to make me feel really, really good, but it completely and utterly distracted me from what was really going on within me. I wasn't looking at it because I was too busy being transcendentalist. So whilst meditation can be helpful and has its place, I don't meditate, but some people do and it's helpful for them. If it is taken as the be-all and end-all of it all, forget it. It's very harmful. It really is, and I don't believe in it at all. If it's used to get rid of all those pesky emotions and just meditate, keep it down, then to me that's like the same as, say, taking heroin or very strong opiate painkillers to get rid of a problem. You know, that's what this world does, people. That's what this world always does. It studiously ignores all the obvious, all of it. Ignore. Just do your yoga every day. or follow this guru and do everything he or she says. Meditate. Or, you know, be a born-again Christian or be a devout Muslim and pray 6 times a day or whatever, and whatever. And if you do that, then yes, everything is fine. Because the world is fucked up, but that's the way God deemed it to be, or whatever. It's meant to be this way. And, you know, don't ask any questions. Don't look into anything. And whatever you do, if you you know, it's like you don't look at your inner self. These people claim, a lot of them really do, you know, they claim to know what it's like to go within. But they're full of pathology, they're full of poison. They're manipulative and they want, give me. So they don't know anything about going within. And a you know, a soulless person, an NPC, infected, just a harbinger of Wetigo. Well, it's like there's just this facade of a person, like you can go to, you know, they don't really do it anymore, but back in the day they used to have these large cardboard cutout people in the shops, you know, like smiley people with, I don't know, for whatever reason they had them. They're like that. They're one-dimensional. They're like a very thin slice. And behind that is just putrid evil. Now, when we have an encounter like that and we've been played and we didn't realise that we were being played and we thought this was a genuinely decent human being. And it was interesting because, yes, you do feel a sense of communion. You do feel a sense of communion, a sense of love, based on certain sentences, certain words, or if this person is giving you a lie, basically, that they're giving you a fabrication, a lie, a nebulous, gaslighty lie. The love that you feel, the communion that you feel ultimately is not with that person, but it's with yourself. Because you know yourself ultimately. You may not think you do, but you do know yourself on a very deep level. You know what you resonate with. You know what gives you a sense of wholesomeness. It's like going on Facebook and you come across memes. You know, Facebook is full of memes. Some of them are just platitudes and empty rhetoric, but some of them are actually quite good. I have a Facebook friend who posts memes all the time, but they're really, really good and they're great. Ange. But so when I come across certain memes, like really good, wholesome memes, like something with a great picture or whatever, and it really resonates with me. It resonates with me because that truth is already a part of me. It's part of who I am. I've learned that lesson. I've had certain experiences that have shown me that, yes, that's true. I've experienced that. I've embodied that. It is a part of me. So when you get these narcissists telling you these things, saying this or leaving a comment somewhere, or sending you an email, or talking to you, or whatever, in whichever way, saying this stuff and pretending to be something that they're clearly, after you notice afterwards, are not at all. The reason that you feel this connection, this communion, this love, whatever, is because those things they're saying are things that you get, are things that you believe in, are things that you've experienced, are things that you've embodied. You see? So when you then later work out, oh, I was dealing with a narcissist and it was all a lie, it hurts, really, it hurts a lot. You start doubting yourself, you start thinking, well, but I felt a connection with that person. And I thought that this was a really decent human being, and I thought that was really like worth my time. And now it's turned out that, so maybe you see where that goes. And all because you did feel that communion, you did feel that love, you did feel that connection, it did resonate with you. All of a sudden you don't trust yourself at all, because you think, well, why did that resonate with me? Why did I feel that way? Why did I feel that communion? What the fuck? So all of a sudden there's a tear in the fabric of your psyche because you don't trust yourself. Now that is what they always want. That's what it's all about. You see, that's what they want. They want to destroy you. This happens because one way or another, for whatever reason or another, they hate you. They hate your light. They hate you for what you do, for what you are, for something that you are. It's usually something that you are, something that you shine out, something, and they don't like it because the retico, the darkness, the evil in this world hates soul travelers. It really just does. It hates us. We're here to turn everything on its head. We're here to do a job, people. We're not here to passively, peacefully sit by whilst everything goes to shit. Because it's something that we have to accept, that it's wisdom to accept that fact, and it's the will of God, or resignation, passive, apathetic resignation, because this is just the way it has to be. See, Retico needs an environment. It needs a specific environment in which it can live. High vibrational timelines where the light really comes in, where the world is transformed beautifully, and Retico can't live there. That's it, finished, game over. That is what it's terrified of, and that is why it's sending its minions into our lives to try and stop us, literally. I mean, it does that in so many different ways, and psychological warfare is really what it's all about, people. It has been there from the very beginning. We were born, we came into this world. We may or may not, I can't say, I don't know, have lived many lifetimes where over and over and over again we were persecuted, we were undermined, we were gaslit, we were convinced through gaslighting and various nasty nonsense that we are powerless and there is nothing we can do, and as long as we're good Christians, as long as we follow the laws of this or that, we must accept that this is the way the world is. We must accept that we must suffer. It is the will of God. We must allow ourselves to be crucified over and over and over again, ad nauseam. It wants us to be martyrs. It wants us to be trapped and stuck in the martyr mindset, people. Because, Retico has all the power there. When you start to play around with the sense, with the notion that you're powerful, that you are a magical and powerful being, it will come at you. It will send somebody, a narcissist, could even be a member in your own family, unfortunately. It could be somebody in your own family, often enough, and it will send that minion your way to, one way or another, undermine you, so that you lose that notion of your own power. What they do as well, this is very clever, they make you feel like you're the narcissist. They know that you're not perfect. They know damn well that you have issues, that you may even have some narc tendencies of your own. We all have them. It's the fact. It's sad, but it's true. Even us, the people, the people with a tendency to people please, the sensitive people, the empaths. We live in a very hostile environment, so, we learn to cope the best way we can. None of us are perfect. We're all fucked up. It's a fact. And the Retico infected narcs know this very well, so they come in at those specific points where we are really gaining traction, where we are really beginning to realize that, hey, I am powerful. I do love myself. Telling you that if you think that way, you're a narc, you're a narcissist, because you're not supposed to love yourself and you don't have any power. You're supposed to be a passive resigning. You're supposed to passively resign yourself to the inevitability of it all. You don't have any power. And to love yourself, that means you're self-obsessed and you're self-absorbed and you're selfish and you're horrible. You're a bad person. You're bad, and you're going to burn in hell. Do you see what I mean? Of course, because the narcissist thinks they love themselves as well, but they don't really love themselves. That's the truth. They're empty. They're nothing. Self-love doesn't require you to shit on other people. Self-love doesn't make you better or bigger than anybody else. Self-love gives you a healthy sense of humility. It gives you a stronger sense of compassion and a stronger sense of empathy for other people, because if you can have compassion and empathy for yourself, for your own foibles, for your own fucked upness, for your own struggles, for your own insanity, for your own trauma, your own woundedness, for your own trying so hard, for all of that, then you can also have that compassion and that empathy for other people, because you will see that in other people. You will see it. You will. I'm not talking about the empty vessels. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the NPCs. I'm not talking about the toxic people. I'm not talking about the narcs and the psychopaths. But I'm talking about people. Because there are still so many decent, good people in the world. People that, yes, they struggle. Yes, they're fucked up. They don't always know how to behave. None of us do, people. None of us do. And that is where they attack us. They will always find your weakest point. They're very good at sizing you up in about like 5 minutes. Weak point there, weak point there, weak point there, self-doubt there, yeah. And they stick the knife in. That's what they do, and they love doing that. They get a massive kick out of it. You know, they always feel above you. They think of themselves as, I know it all. You know, they think they're gods. Wetiko loves that. They are all flying monkeys. They are Wetiko's flying monkeys. They are Wetiko's minions, and they are there. They are, in a sense, they are the external representation of the dark generator, because we have it living in our heads. It comes at us, so it's in our head, it is not in our head, it's both, it's neither. It's a very difficult, complex, nebulous thing. But I'm sure you're all aware of the constant negativity that comes at you, that sabotages you. Some days it's quite strong, especially when you're depressed and anxious and you're going through shit. It becomes quite obvious. You can really hear it. It's like, whoa, listen to that. Days where you're happy and you're feeling good, it's much less so. Do you know what I mean? So for people who've had a lot of trauma in childhood, I think they can feel it much more. They're much more aware of it, which is the impetus. Hence we go through a lot of shit, because we hear it, we know it, our awareness of it is much, much greater. And it has to be. Because how can you alchemize and transform something you do not even know is there? Do you see what I mean, people? And it's crap, because yes, so some of us have suffered a great deal. We've been through a great deal of really nasty, nefarious shit. We've had childhoods where, you know, you literally wonder, how the fuck did I actually manage to get through that? How did I even grow up at all? Because we all know that babies need love. Humans, you know, babies need love. Babies need touch. They need comfort, they need being held, all that. Well, some of us didn't even have that. Our mothers were just that narcissistic and that cold and that empty. They wouldn't love us. So how the fuck did we even grow up at all? But yet here we are. You see, now that isn't a miracle. It's a miracle. It really is. That's grace. I call that grace. It's incredible that we've done that we've managed that. And I see the love of the Great Mother in that so much, because without that love we would not have been here now, having this experience, being part of this massive reset operation, the great healing, the great work, call it what you will. And right now, because there's a lot of Venus was square Neptune, there's a lot of Neptune energy. Neptune is the mind control. Neptune is Wetico, basically, right? Neptune is evil. It is darkness. Neptune is the dark generator. Neptune is the narcissists and the psychopaths and the New World Order. Neptune is the plant-demic or the no epidemic. Neptune is all the nasty evil shit, Wetico, that lives in this world, right? Venus is what we need. It's our safety, it's our love, it's our belonging, it's our well-being. So when you have Venus square Neptune, all of that is shit happens, right? Triggers, massive triggers happen to blow that up, to say, right, something has to be torn open within you so that there can be a healing, you see, because it's in us. That Wetico is in us. The dark generator is there. The trauma has caused this schism, as it were, within us, where, oh, you can't trust yourself and you're powerless and this is all there is, and you have to try and keep your head above water, do what you have to do to survive, and let people abuse you, and yeah, just make sure everybody's happy, keep everybody happy at all times, keep people happy, be a doormat, because that's the only way to stay safe. It's interesting. And then the minute you start saying no, the minute you start getting a bit more lippy and say, actually, fuck you, I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that, and please stop sending me all these fucking emails, and please stop sending me all these bloody letters, and please stop ringing my doorbell every other fucking day, and stop asking me for this and this and this and then not bringing it back. I had this guy living down the road who was just knocking on my door every other fucking day. Can I borrow this? Can I borrow that? Can I borrow that? And then borrowing it and then never bringing it back. And then I'd go around and I'd say, well, can I have my hammer back? Can I have my screwdriver back? Can I have this back? Can I have that? Oh, I haven't got it. I brought it back. Do you see what I mean? They do that sort of shit. It's fucked up. So, yeah, you say, no, I'm not doing it. So he got in touch with me. I didn't hear of him for ages and ages and ages. And all of a sudden, got a message, a little piece of paper through my mailbox saying, oh, can I come around tonight and borrow, you know? And then he came around and I said, sorry, but no, I'm not giving you anything of mine. You still got, No, the power of no. You know, Eckhart Tolle's always going on about the power of now. Well, I tend to call it now. I like to call it the power of no. Because we're allowed to be defiant, you know, people. These narcissists don't want us to be defiant. They don't want us to be strong. They don't want us to say no. They don't want us to see what's fucking going on. They don't want that. We may have not seen what was going on. We may not have recognized it. We may have fallen for it. Yeah, it's a fucker. It isn't a pleasant feeling at all when you at the end of that realize that you've been played, you've been had, you've been used. That does make you feel like shit. It does make you feel like you can't trust yourself. They've done that to you from the minute you were born anyway. You've had that dark generator, your own parents often enough say that shit to you, do that shit to you, gaslight you, manipulate you, give you the silent treatment, withhold love, because, well, you're just not good enough to be loved, you don't deserve to be loved, you're no good, you're powerless, you're shit, look, there's nothing you can do, whatever. It's interesting, you know, because it's our love, something within us that was always there, even at the beginning, that's gotten a strittle. you see. It's our strength, our courage, our defiance, our power, our love that will continue to do that all the way to the fulfillment of our quest here. You see? I have had a lot of experiences with very unsavory individuals, people that for a while I thought were really wonderful because I couldn't see it, because they're very clever. They make themselves look so amazing and wonderful, so innocuous, right? First thing you need to do when you've had an experience like that is to forgive yourself and to understand that you're not perfect. You will not always see it. You won't. Second, realize it's a lesson. It's it's a rite of passage, people. You know, you will learn a shitload from it. You really will. Always be aware of people that come across, well, rather come at you from slightly above, right? Slightly condescending, slightly patronizing. It might seem very benign at first, but there's always a sense of, now, you're a bit stupid. You don't really know what you're doing. You're a bit of a schmuck, really. But I know everything because I am God. So I'm here to tell you this, and I'm here to tell you that. You ought to be my disciple. I am here to tell you what to do. I am here to have control over you because you're really nothing and you're really shit, and I really just think you're absolutely disgusting and I hate you. That's the narcissist, you know. There's a really good little, well, actually it's not very little, it's a good YouTube channel. It's a Texan guy. I like a Texan accent. I love that Texas accent. It's absolutely lovely. It's called Surviving Narcissism. I'll post a link in a Dropbox below this video. And he's a really kind sort of guy. He's got this lovely dog, like always asleep in the chair behind him. And he talks about narcissism in a very accessible sort of way, because I find that a lot of people, Sam Vaknin included, talk about it in a way that you think, well, I don't quite understand what you mean. And a lot of people talk about narcissism in a very black and white way, when in fact it's an incredibly complex topic, because not all narcissists behave in the same way. They don't necessarily do this, they might do that. They're very difficult to pin down. It's not a simple thing like, oh, you know, like 5 signs you're dealing with a narcissist. You go online, yeah, you look this topic up and you'll find so many different websites. 10 signs to know you're dealing with a narcissist, and you look at all 10 and you think, yeah, but actually I know I'm dealing with a narcissist, but it's not that, it's different. It's nebulous, people. It's Neptune, and Neptune is dark. Neptune is mysterious. Neptune is, well, I can't really work out. Neptune is gaslighting, people. You cannot put gaslighting into words. The whole point is that when you're gaslit, you haven't got a fucking clue what's going on. You're in the dark. You feel like you're drowning because you're being, you know, psychologically abused. It's psychological warfare is what gaslighting is, of the most nefarious kind. And it's what this world is. This world is a psyop, right? I mean, yes, of course, there are beautiful things in this world. We love nature, we love animals, we love trees, but even in the animal world, shit happens. It isn't a black and white thing. I mean, a friend of mine is a gardener, and he saw a crow attack and kill a little baby bird the other day. You see, that sort of shit, that's evil. That's evil, that's bad. So when people tell you that you're supposed to passively passively accept that and just resign yourself to that and just, you know, that, oh, this is just the way the world is meant to be and whatnot, then know that that's a lie. This world is infected. Consciousness is infected with an evil type of pathogen, an evil type of virus. Call it a possession. I would say that it is a possession, actually. I think we are all possessed, and I think for some of us who are truly souled, that possession is that demon is being purged. It's being what's the word? It's being exorcised. This entire lifetime we're in now, what's happening now, it's an exorcism. That is what is happening now, people. It's an exorcism, you see? It's very... yeah, it's not easy to talk about any of this because we're in it. It's just very much like the goldfish in a bowl, you know? It's like we're in it, and it's like, well, can't see past it. Ooh. We are gaslit from the get-go, so it is very difficult. But you know what? We are finding our way through. We really are. Little by little. And these horrible experiences can be so utilised for the greater good, for greater understanding, for transcendence and transmutation. They really, it's amazing. And all by grace, people. It's all by grace, and that is an element of love. It's grace. It's where love steps in and says, you know what, there is a great evil in this world, and it would seem from the outset that evil's all powerful and that it always wins. These evil psychopaths that we see, you know, the likes of Henry Kissinger and who knows, all these evil royal families and whatnot, and all the way through the layers, even, you know, the narcs and the psychopaths of the lower ranks, you know, they're all one thing. It's all hive ultimately, and it seems like they always win, you know. And they've done a total number on our psyche, and they've made us believe that we're powerless. But I think that it's a case of projection. So whatever they make you think and feel about yourself is what they themselves really are. Do you see? They don't have an identity. They don't. And in fact, they are nothing. Evil always needs to feed. It wants to control. It wants to subjugate. It wants to manipulate. It wants to feed on the anguish and the fear and the suffering and the pain of its victims. It wants to feed. It needs to feed. What happens when it's no longer able to feed? It dies. It ceases to exist, people. When we step in our power, when we love ourselves, despite our, you know, our fucked upness, whatever, right? When we say, you know what? Yes, I see that, and I love myself and I forgive myself, for I know that I'm doing the best I can and I'm healing. You also know that you look back on yourself as you were a year ago, 10 years ago, whatever, you realize how much work you have done. You realize how much work you've done. You realize how far you've come. You realize that, you know, that this really does work. It isn't a case of, oh, I'm as fucked up as I always was. No, it isn't. Just think of yourself as you were 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, 4 years ago, right? If you keep a journal, you have all that evidence because you write it down and it's like, wow, that's where I was then. See, we go through the layers, we go through the brick walls. Yes, we do. Every time it's like, poof, oh my God, I don't think I can get through this. I don't think I understand. And you try so hard, you put in such an effort. And then afterwards you realise, well, there really wasn't any need to put in such a terrible effort, because it all sort of just happened. It all just sort of happened in the flow. I was showing the way through. Something happened. It was difficult. It was painful. But now I understand more about the outer, the inner, about what Wetiko is, about why I'm here and who I am and what my mission is. That I am worthy, that I do deserve love. And that the more I understand that I deserve love, that I am love. It's not even a matter of, oh, I deserve it. No, forget that word. Scrap it. You are love. You see? And love is very powerful. I mean, about a year ago, I was walking down the road and I was quite down. And this piece of paper came fluttering out of nowhere, and it just landed on the street in front of me, and it said, "Love always wins." And it was just a piece of paper with somebody written that on it or something, I can't remember exactly, but it was, "Love always wins." And I just went, oh, that's great. And then I looked up, and there was an ad, and at the end of it, "Just so you know." Do you know what I mean? It's that sort of stuff. It's in the synchronicity that is with us all the time. The Great Mother speaking to us, saying, "It's all right, my child. You are love. You are. You belong in that." The Great Mother, the power of love, the magic of love, which is all about resets. Which is not about the denial of our darkness, of our woundedness, of our fucked upness. It's about the embracing of it, the acknowledgement of it, the feeling of it. It's not about sitting in meditation and thinking you're better than everybody else. No, it isn't about that. It's not about being passive and, oh well, everything is the way it is and there's nothing we can do, but we'll just meditate and meditate. We'll just go to church and give our life to Jesus, or we'll just bow down in front of Allah 6 times a day, or whatever. It's not about that. It's not about dogma. It's not about pretense. That's divorcing yourself. That's divorcing yourself. That's being here when you are here. That's what the whole world is doing. They're all living a lie. I've said this before. It's this, you're born into this world and everybody tells you, well, you know, we're living the truth. The truth is, this is when they're all in fact living a lie, you know, but everybody's telling you that this is the truth and this is what you must do. And, you know, it's done a number on all of us people. And it's when you slowly but surely start to break the surface of that the darkest demons will come crawling out of the woodwork, because Wetiko doesn't want you to go there. It doesn't want you to enter the Queendom. Never mind the kingdom. How about the Queendom? You know, there was a really good little bit of writing on Facebook the other day, and I thought it was absolutely amazing. And yeah, I might read it to you guys in a bit, but that means I have to take the camera and whatnot, but I'll do that. The thing is, people, that we are powerful. We are magical beings. We are the power of love. We are love. Well, soul travelers are. We are love. We came into this dark realm which is infected, well, with evil, which is the opposite of love in a way, right? It is. And we came here to heal that. But evil doesn't want to be healed, because it would stop to exist, it would cease to exist, and it will resist to the very bitter end, people. And the more we get there, the more traction we gain, the more awareness we have of, wow, yeah, I get it, the more it will pipe up. Hence this whole COVID thing, and this mass psyop, which is completely mad. It's incredible that people just believe it. I mean, it's mad. And again, this is typical, because the minions the NPCs, they are here, they were created by the dark side, because it uses these NPCs to funnel its agenda, its will, its energetic terraforming. I mean, I saw there was a photo on Facebook, and a Facebook friend of mine who is from this town had posted a photo of the hospital that we have in this town in 1984. And the hospital was there, poof, but it was surrounded by lush countryside, trees, fields, hills, beautiful. Now, that was in 1984. You go back there now and it's just all built up with horrible grid formation housing estates, fucking B&Q and big roads and everything, and the whole countryside has been obliterated, you know. It's just like that photo I saw of a motherboard. And it was a close-up photo of a motherboard. And it was like, wow, first I literally thought that was New York. I thought it was New York or some other big city in America. But no, it was a motherboard. That is another nuance of Wetico, people. It eats and eats and eats. It is a voracious fucking beast that will... It wants to devour everything that is beautiful, everything that is good, everything that is pure, everything that is of love. It is the antithesis to it all. It hates us. It hates us because we are love, and we pose a massive threat to it. We are the ultimate threat to it. We are here to do this job. We are here to neutralize that shit. That's why we are here, people. So I'm gonna try and find that stuff because I just wanted to read it to you guys, you see. I think you will like it. Ooh. So I have to switch everything on again. It's a bit annoying, but it's relevant. Ooh. Just a minute, guys. Right, here we go. So it says, fuck heightened consciousness, we aren't birds. Fuck transcendence, addiction, masquerading as evolution. Fuck non-duality that conveniently removes everything uncomfortable from the unified field. Fuck enlightenment without integrity. Fuck patriarchal detachment models presented as the royal road to the kingdom of God. What about the Queendom, our only hope? Fuck the new earth as described by disassociative and disembodied pain bypassers. Fuck the yoga industry that feigns awareness it does not hold. Fuck vertical spirituality that ignores what is happening before our very eyes. Fuck the bullshit soul aberties who don't give a shit about humanity. Fuck the guru who imagines himself realized. Fuck the New Cage movement and its trail of lies. Fuck any version of spirituality that doesn't serve humanity and nature and animals and love. Fuck the story bashers, fuck the victim bashers, fuck the bloodied spiritual lie. Embrace enrealment before it's too fucking late. Enrealment, people, you see. I just had to read that to you guys because I just love that. Fuck that shit. Fuck the narcissism. Fuck Wetico. Fuck evil. We are powerful. We are potent. And we are the power of love. All my love to you all.